Can't do it. Can't do a serious face. Good evening, good evening. How are you?
How
Hiya.
are you?
Q&A. Matt, that's me. Karen, that's
Yes, that's
you.
me.
And
Yeah.
this is our re-entry edition. That's pretty exciting. Jackie Pillay is with
Hey,
us.
Jackie. Hey, Teresa. How you going? Beck.
Hey there, Beck. How you doing? And then Karen's with us. That's very good. So
There you go.
just so that you know, tonight we're going to roll through a whole bunch of things. Bethy, we miss you. Tonight we would love you to get a few questions up. So if you've got some questions about re-entry, we'll do a little bit of stuff first. So that may even answer just one or two questions. But then, shoot those questions through and it's going to be awesome. Yes, you are looking very pretty tonight. But then,
Thanks. You
and I'm not
always
even
say that.
biased. I just think you're gorgeous. I'm going to stop that because it
Moving
really
on.
embarrasses you.
It really does.
All right, so first of all, before we dive in, and hello Binu, oh man, we love you. We are so proud of what you're continuing to do in India. The way you represent Jesus, Binu, is just absolutely inspirational. But we'd first of all like to really pass on our condolences to Claudia and Gunnar, Jody and Todd, Christian, Adrian, all the kids and now the grandkids, and the passing of Gunnar's mum, Alma, this morning. What an incredible life that she lived, one full of faith and one full of love for her children and for her family. And again, Claudia, Gunnar, for the way that you took an opportunity to love this incredible individual who I guess really took a significant part of your life and your time in these last couple of years, but the way you honoured her, the way you led your family in that honour and in that love, and to see each and every one of the Claudia and Gunnar and Jody and Todd, Chrissy and Adrian take the opportunities to enjoy Alma, I think is absolutely brilliant. So if you know these guys, why don't you send them some of your love, send them a great big pat on the back, and so our condolences to you.
Yeah. I love to you all.
Yep. Barbie, I saw Barbie online, and Barbie, would you please pass on to Rory just how sad we are that he's not feeling well as well. So that looks like a pretty nasty little temperature he's got there. So we're going to take some time at the very end to make sure we pray for Rory.
Yeah.
And Barbie, we've just absolutely loved getting to know you and your family, both through Kids Club on the Sunday night, our kids together at school, and then just again the place you've taken as part of our online family and our online church. It's just been such a thrill. So, you know what, when these things happen with our kids and with our families, please, one and all, let's keep leaning in. Let's not stop connecting. Let's continue to share. The Bible actually tells us to carry our load and bear each other's burdens. So whenever something becomes a burden, we do that. But Barbie will be praying for Rory later on. Do you want to mention our family of the week?
Yes, we have a new thing called Family of the Week.
Family of the week.
Great initiative from Catherine and Isaac
Yep.
Smith.
Hang on, I'll
Thank
pull
you
this
so
up
much.
for you. There you go.
And this week happens to be for the Madden family, as in Rebecca and Christopher John,
Christopher John.
and Sophie, Zach, and little Emmy.
Is
And
that Sophie John, Emmy John, Zach John?
Yep, all the Johns
All
as
the
well. So basically, it means that we have an opportunity this week to pray for them, to love on them. If you want to make them a meal and you want to drop it
Oh,
around,
good idea.
that'd be great. If you want to buy them a meal because you can't make them a meal and drop it around, you can also do that. If you want to lavish them with gifts and lovely messages and all things that just make them feel super special, super loved and super valued for the beautiful family that they are, for the amazing people they are for our church.
Oh, it's incredible.
So blessed by them.
I've run out of hand gestures, so I'm just going to have to go back to saying this. They are brilliant.
Yes, they are. Just as well, we have so many emoji gestures, isn't it? So anyway, you can get super creative. It could be something that you could do just to bless the kids as well, or bless
Great.
Beck and Chris, whatever you feel. But really, if we could lift them up in prayer intentionally, and so that's something that we'll be doing.
Every fortnight,
Every
I think
fortnight.
Family of the Week is coming.
Yeah.
So it's just a way, to really celebrate families, young and old, and I guess at all the different stages of
Yeah.
faith journey and church involvement, online, in-person church. Beck, Chris, thank you for all that you are, all that you
Yeah.
do, all that you have been, and we're just believing for even more. So I absolutely love that,
Sweet.
Karen. Get around it.
Yeah.
So, without too much further ado, I haven't seen any questions come through yet, but that's okay. Karen,
Matt.
please tell us. We have been in lockdown and not being able to gather in person now for 13 weeks, 14 weeks.
It's a long time.
Feels like 13 months to
So
me.
I think the last service we had was the 15th of March.
Sure, and I was away for a couple of those, then I missed a couple more because I was in India. So I haven't been
Yeah.
in an Abundant Life Church in person live church service
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Tell us, when can we come back? When are we coming back? What's the date? What's the Sunday?
Very soon.
Oh, you can do better than that.
Sunday the 12th.
Sunday the 12th.
of
Type
July.
it in.
Yeah.
Sunday the 12th. We are
12th of
back,
July.
baby.
We are back. Yes. Online, 9 a.m. for those who have really got too comfortable in their pajamas and Ugg boots and the comforts of
They can
home.
come in Uggies. They can come in jammies.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, some of the people. I mean, I don't think Terry Benefield should come in his kimono. That's too far.
And we'll just keep moving on. In person at 10:30.
In person at 10:30,
In person at
which means our
10:30.
online church is at.
I said 9 a.m.
You said that 9
I
a.m.
did.
I was too busy.
9 a.m.
I was too busy thinking
of the
about how
next
funny I was
thing to
hacking on
say.
Tez online.
It happens all the time.
I wasn't listening. All right, so that's fantastic.
Okay.
So 9 o'clock
Yes.
online.
We do have a question there from lovely Sally.
Okay, can you tell that for me? Because again, I've gone all ditzy.
Yeah.
What was the question?
It was, can we hug?
No,
No.
we can't hug. I'm sorry. You can hug your family.
Okay.
Karen and I are not doing social distancing
No.
right now. But no, we Sally, I'm so sorry, we can't hug. We'll go through some of the safe practices that we need to be able to do in a minute, and I guess we're really hoping that we can all participate in that together.
Yeah.
We had a joke in staff meeting today that if we saw people hugging, we were going to get the squirter bottle out and get
nice.
squirt them with water.
Yeah,
So stop hugging.
It's a great way to welcome people
Yes,
through the doors.
it didn't pass the I love you test.
No.
It was more like you're a naughty puppy test.
Yeah.
But no, sadly we can't do hugging. We can do elbow bumps. We can do fist bumps. We can do high fives. We can tap our ankles or shoes together. We can find unique ways of being able to greet and love one another. I'm with you. I'm heartbroken. I would love to hug the world right now. But no, sadly, we can't do our hugging.
Yeah.
Great. So no, and I'd absolutely, Sal, and you were actually asking a question, matey, that a whole bunch of other people were asking too. So there's no such thing as a bad question, just an unanswered one or just an unasked one.
There you go.
So great. So I'm going to dive through into a few things as to how we keep doing that. Karen will keep checking through the questions. But the 12th of January, we are back. We are back every week. And so we cannot wait. We are looking to turn our first 3 Sundays, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th, into just a giant party. So we are so excited to have people coming back in person. Again, the 9 o'clock, our Sunday morning onlines, our church online will be moving to 9 o'clock, 10:30 for our in-person. We're going to keep on saying it. We're going to need you to keep putting it out there. There'll be plenty of stuff on social media, but 9 and 10:30, and then we just want to have a big party. So one of the things that we'll need to acknowledge straight away is that we have to actually do online registering to come. Now, so we'll be also sending out via social media, via Messenger, via Facebook, via email, how you can actually get our online links to register you and your family. But in order for our building to hold the amount of people that it needs to hold, because again, there's a whole raft of really fantastic regulations set out by the State Health Department that we can, so we can actually meet together in person. We need to be able to register everybody who's coming in. We need to be able to ask a few questions. Have you demonstrated cold and flu-like symptoms? Have you been in isolation, etc., etc., etc.? And there'll be just a couple of very simple things, almost a little bit like most of our guys ask going into school. So our teachers going to school, we're modelling it off that. So we'll actually have a really strong sense of safety. But by being able to register online, you'll get given a little code, and then we can sort of scan that coming into church. It feels very foreign, but hey, we're good with change.
Yeah.
And honestly, I promise you, it will be a very, very minor inconvenience that we can make sure that we are not overpacking the building and therefore able to do all the safe church stuff, as well as then being able to have a list of who's come in. Should there actually be an incident that we actually need to be able to contact trace who's been in the building. So we'll keep going over this. There'll be all sorts of options for you to be able to register you, your children, invite your friends and register your friends to come along, and we'll be able to do that. So that's our online registering. Are there some other questions coming through?
Yeah, there's a few questions. So,
Good on
someone
you.
from the Barbara wanting to know where our church is, which is at 490 South Arm Road
Yes.
in Lauderdale, right across from Ralph's Bay.
Ralph's Bay. So if you come down past the primary school, past Harmony, great, Harmony, fantastic partners of our church, Andrew and Ange, we love you. Past the pub, doing the best palmy beef schnitzel on the foreshore.
Yeah.
And then you find us. If you hit the canal, you've gone too far.
Correct.
Yeah.
Kate Madden also wanted to know if we had some ideas about how to talk to our kids about contact, hugs, etc.
Okay. Yep, that's a great question too. So let me just finish off saying, how do you find us? On our app, on our Abundant Life Church app, there is a map in there in Google Maps. We would gladly, via Messenger and via hello@abundant.org, also ask those questions.
And beautiful Tanya said she can help you.
And beautiful Tanya can help you. She will actually piggyback you down. I'm certain of it. She will borrow a wheelbarrow and wheelbarrow people into church, if I know Tanya. The other thing is, I can actually say, is that we are also wanting to help people if you need a lift to church.
Yeah.
So we obviously need that to register really early, because again, we'll need to make sure that the car is safe, etc., etc. And there's small things that we'll do. But if you would like a lift to church, we won't be able to arrange that sort of late Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
We would need to know it as soon as possible, and we are here for you. We want you to come to church. So you'll register, and then you'll get kids in. Okay, so what was the other question? Kids contact.
And Bev just mentioned something about taking temp. We're not going to be taking temperatures.
No, Bev. We don't need to do temp testing. There will be hand sanitisation right throughout the building. The whole building will be cleaned before people come in and after going out. There may even be a few little spots, door handles and bits and pieces, which we may have some of our team cleaning through the morning. But no, it's actually not actually a qualification for us to temp test coming in. However, as part of the online registering asks, have you actually demonstrated cold and flu-like symptoms in the last 2 weeks, etc., etc. And so we'll ask all the appropriate Department of Health questions coming in. But it's a fantastic question, and a question, thank you so much, that lots of people have been asking. How do we talk to our kids about sort of the touching? Social distancing. One of the revelations that happened for me today was we're not going to be able to hug all the babies. And so, I don't know, that's just going to be horrible. We're just going to have to baby wave or baby fist bump.
Baby fist bump.
So very gently, baby fist bump. So when it comes to our kids, I would encourage you to talk about appropriate social distancing. If they're at school, they'll be au fait with how that has actually been circulated at school. Again, we should probably all be starting to teach our kids how to, use hand sanitizer, etc., etc. Whenever they're moving in and out of shops, that is there. I think that's just one of the new modern day phenomenons that we actually are going to be doing. So encourage them to use the hand sanitizer that's there. Encourage them as much as possible that they're not to just give and receive hugs, because some of our kiddies are just genuine huggers, and it's beautiful. But within the Sunday morning church gathering, we can't be doing that. Outside of that, I think we probably just try and stop them from being the roly-poly puppies at the back of the church. Because I guess, Kate, the bigger thing is that for the first 3 weeks, our kids will actually be in the building with us.
Yeah.
So we actually had some really exciting ideas today as to how we can actually do a kids section. So we're going to do a little kids section. We've got some kids packs which will flow on from that kids section. You'll find the services will actually be shorter than what we had. So for every parent who's going kids in kids church and they start breathing into a paper bag, just relax. We'll look after you with that. So we'll actually have a little kids section. There'll actually be some kid packs related to that, and then the services will be slightly shorter. And then again, we'll just need to figure out how we move in and out of buildings, how we continue to supervise our kids, and just speak about them. So, Kate, obviously, how you remonstrate with Remy will be important. So you'll have to say, Remy, you're not to go and just hug people. Or please feel free to say, I don't think can I hug Remy? And you can quite comfortably say, that's actually just not the way that we're doing community right here and right now.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Great. Was there other questions?
Will we be doing communion?
Will we be doing communion? The answer is yes, we will. We won't do it the first week. And the way that we've actually, we've actually got a workplace COVID-19 safety plan. We had one in place for all of our staff as soon as we went into lockdown. So when we actually locked the building down, we've had sign-in sheets, we've had hand sanitizer, we've had ways of moving in and out of the building, signs on doors and signs on certain entry points. So we've been able to do all of that. And now part of our COVID re-entry plan, which is a formal document for us, says that yes, we can do communion and we can take up offering, but we're going to do it in a couple of different ways. One, to all of you who have moved your giving online, just thank you. And I've got to tell you, our church is the most generous church when it comes to giving. You have not stopped. It's been able to mean that we've been able to do some things around the building. We've been able to keep our dreams alive. We've been able to keep caring for both members of our church and members of our community. And so the church has not fallen into disrepair or gone backwards because of your giving, and because you've so incredibly faithfully moved your giving online. Just amazing. For our giving, I'm getting to the communion question. For the giving, we're going to have a box at the back that we will refer to, and you'll be able to put your giving into the box, and that'll be locked and all that sort of stuff. And so that'll minimise contact, so we won't be passing buckets, plates, bags around. And when it comes to communion, we are sourcing individual communion wafer cups. So you'll be able to just pick up a cup and it's got a little tear-off lid, a little wafer inside of it, and little num-nums, and you'll be able to do that individually without sort of getting your hands all over the crackers.
Lovely.
So,
Okay.
Yep.
A question in relation to spacing.
Spacing.
Will the chairs be spaced?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
So the good news with our building, we'll be taking out the side wall. We can get up to 100, and I think it was Pete who asked that question.
Yes.
What a legend. Love you, Pete Dishington, and love the whole Dishington family. Thank you. We will take the side wall out, and we can get 170 people in our building, which is just out of this world. So yes, we can actually be spacing the chairs. The game changer for us with re-entry was when they moved the social distancing from 4 square metres to 2 square metres, which means that we were in a position to be able to really bring in, bring our whole family back. So we will be spacing the chairs out. Thankfully, at 2 square metres, it's not going to feel too much like it's sort of too. I think we've kind of always had like a gold class feel anyway. We've always had plenty of space in the building. It may be noticeable to a little more space, but I did see a funny meme the other day that had all the X's along a car park, and it actually said, "This is a confusing time to be a pirate." Thought that was kind of funny. You obviously didn't, but anyway.
There's another question
great.
about the cafe.
The cafe.
The cafe.
Okay. So, again, great questions, fantastic. What we'll do for the first at least 2 weeks is we won't be having any tea, coffee, from within the church. So we're really aiming at this stage, all things being equal, to be able to bring in some food trucks and some coffee carts. So you'll be able to buy some food, you'll be able to buy some coffee. That'll all be done through their own COVID-safe mechanisms. We'll be able to buy a cup of coffee, maybe buy a bit of banana cake slice or a taco or something like that. Tacos, they are called tacos, not tacos. It's a taco. Or a soft-shelled burrito or something like that. We're gonna have a party. So no, we won't be serving food in the building. In fact, in our foyer, we've taken out all of the seating in that space, so there'll be no cafe table chairs around, so that no urge to sit and loiter. So you'll have to do your loitering standing up, and I've seen some of our abundant guys do some pretty neat loitering in a standing position. But so we're gonna take that out. Once we've actually worked our first couple of weeks through, we're obviously keeping an eye on everything the state government's enabling us to do. We're keeping an eye on best practice. We're leaning into all of our friends in other churches, and they are also learning lessons, and we're learning lessons for them. We're sharing all that ideas around. I would imagine for the first 2 weeks there'll be no tea or coffee. There'll be nothing served out of the kitchen and nothing served out of the cafe, just for the first 2 weeks, and then we'll be able to let you know what happens after that. But our hope is we can get in a coffee van and then bring in some food, and therefore we can stand on the deck, we can stand in the foyer. We've actually got a new fence right across the front of the deck area there too, so that our kids are really safe, or are even more safe. So that's exciting. And did I see a question about the playground?
No.
Oh.
You did see a question though in relation to does the hugging rule include extended related family, just so they can have the right conversations with kids?
Well, this is Tasmania, so technically everyone's extended family. Extended.
It's not be rude. So,
I think that if we just go into the mode of going, hey, it's a hug-free morning, so it's going to be tough to keep. I know that Karen and I just are very huggy people when we come into church buildings. But no, honestly, I think if we just go, hey, let's just not hug, and if we keep your hugs for your own COVID-safe homes and bits and pieces, our Connect groups. You've got your Connect group starting soon. That's actually an official church gathering, so that should be a hug-free zone. And I don't like it any more than you do, and it feels draconian at times, but look, our goal is that every single member of our family feels safe. And I think when one or two members of our family don't feel safe, it actually impacts us all. So we really want to, demonstrate the absolute best practice that we can actually have to make everyone feel comfortable. That's why everyone registers. Karen and I will be registering for the service, so we better make sure we get in early, because you'd hate for one of us to...
You would hate for us to miss out. Sorry, there was a question about the playground. Will it still be open?
The playground will still be open, yeah.
There we go. The playground will still be open. Kane, we don't know how long the hug rule will go on for until the government says that we don't have to have 2 square metre appropriate distancing.
Yeah, it's a tough one, bro.
And then also we've got to
really
look at the fact that how infections are passed, so it's something that probably we'll always have to take into account in terms of how other people feel, and always keep that at the forefront of how we relate to other people.
Absolutely.
Some people are huggers by nature and some people aren't, and so it's just being respectful and honouring of that in the long term. But for now,
Jacob Lehman, you absolute superstar.
Okay.
Fastest kid I've ever seen in my entire life. Fantastic
Very
footballer.
fast.
Love you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Can I just pass up? Can I just come back to the hugging thing again?
Yeah.
Honestly, as a church, we've always tried to be respectful of people's spaces, and there's obviously been appropriate and inappropriate hugging throughout history.
Not from me.
No, but there's the sideways hug, and there's a front-on hug, and there's the TP hug, and all that sort of stuff that we get taught as to how to do that. We've tried to be Kano, a church that has asked, is it okay if I give you a hug? And we've tried to be a church that says, would you, and shaking hands instead of that, as opposed to trying to make things really awkward. Because me, I just want to hug the world, and Karen probably doesn't. So we've always tried to sort of say, is it okay if I give you a hug? That now is just gone to the next level, and it's all just about respecting people. So what we are saying is, if someone says, "Can I give you a hug?" we kind of go, "No, I'd rather you didn't." Then if we do see people hugging, we'll probably just very politely say, "Hey, hug off."
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Will there be a few chairs for those who can't stand? Probably.
Who can't you stand?
No, for those who.
Oh, the joke, the hits just keep coming.
Yeah, you can see I'm not in the mood for it tonight, can't you? So particularly for those who are perhaps sitting out in the foyer, I think this might apply to. So that we'll make sure we've got some chairs on the deck or outside or in a place that...
Definitely.
Yeah, for those who
Definitely.
need to sit down.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you need a chair, then we've got some soft ones that will have some pillows. Probably, and so absolutely there'll be avenues. You don't have to. Obviously, it's not a standing meeting. We'll be sitting down.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's part of good old Pentecostal traditional churches. You've got to stand up and sit down and stand up and sit down 5 times, or it's not a real church service.
Yeah.
That's it. But oh man, I'm going to get myself into trouble. How long have we got to go? I'm digging a hole here.
Dad jokes are on fire tonight. Yes, they are, aren't they, Sally?
But no, definitely there's obviously going to be chairs for people to sit in. We're just going to remove the cafe style seating for a majority of people.
Yeah. Will online be the same as what it's happening in person?
Great question.
Very good question.
Yes, it will. It's just going to move to 9 o'clock. So 10 o'clock this week for our online church. Yeah. But on the 12th, we're going to move to 9 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock. 10:30. Chippers. Now I'm getting it wrong. Live online and then live in person at 10:30. So 9 and 10:30 will be our two services, and in fact you might even be able to do both if you're really quick. So you'll be able to do the first church service at home in your jammies, and then you'll be able to do your second service rip on down at 10:30 to 490 South Arm Road.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
The party's happening.
Great. So hang on, is there another question?
No.
I wonder if I'm just about done. What we'd like to try and do is we'd like to sort of, we'll do this again next week, guys. We'll do this again next week. So,
yay.
Oh, come on.
Being happy.
I'm good. All right.
About that.
Okay, that just sounded like a very sarcastic.
Did it?
Yay.
We did answer the playground. Isaac, did you hear?
Isaac wants to play in the playground. You've got to bring your own playground.
Bring your own.
You've got to bring your own snuggle mat, Isaac, and your own squeaky toy.
Yep.
So,
asking for a friend.
Of course.
Yeah, we've heard that before. Yeah, the playground will be open.
Playground's open. Kids' church isn't. And again, look, it's going to be a tough one because while we want a party, it's going to be one of the ones that actually that we probably are going to encourage people not to hang around forever.
Yeah.
So if look, we would love you to invite friends. Yeah. Please invite your friends. Please invite your family. Please invite your workmates. If someone has said to you, "Oh, I'm really enjoying watching the online stuff. I've really enjoyed blah 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 blah," or, your church has done a great job online, and thank you so much for all that encouragement. So encourage us again by inviting them along to either say, "Well, we're staying online at 9 o'clock and we can still be involved in that," or "Why don't you come to our online service?" We're being very, very intentional that one is not better than the other.
Yeah.
So one is going to meet someone's needs more than another.
That's right.
Some needs are going to be met longer term online, or some are going to be actually something which is actually a point of need because I can't get out of the house. So Barbie with Rory is going to have to do it online until he's actually up and about.
Yeah.
And that just sucks. We're really hoping that Barbie, that you guys will be able to be here and everything's fantastic and believing that that's going to be terrific. But one is not better than the other. It's actually about both are going to be legitimate campuses. Both are actually going to be moving us forward into, first of all, a relationship with Jesus where we surrender our heart to Him. We know that it's salvation. Second, we actually surrender our lives to Him, which is often a bigger deal. And we actually say, "You are my Lord and you can lead me and I want you to use my life. You saved it so you can spend it." And that's called discipleship. And we want both to happen digitally and in person. Both are incredibly valuable. Both are incredibly meaningful. Both will actually see God's mandate to Abundant Life Church to be a church on mission actually outworked. And we're going to continue to do that. Obviously, the in-person gathering, we're going to take it slow. We're going to stay safe. It's going to be a celebration. And we are obviously wanting to meet as many needs as we can, answer as many questions as we can. But please bring your friends, bring your family. And again, even if they don't come, just invite them. Just invite them.
Awesome.
No more questions?
No, did you say we're going to pray for some people?
We're going to pray for Rory. I think we should pray for Claudia and Gunnar.
Yeah.
And I think we should give thanks for Beck and Chris.
Yeah, okay.
Can you do that? Because I've used up all my words.
Have you?
I've only got 6 or 7 left.
Okay. I find that hard to believe. But anyway. Sure.
I'm saving them. I want to
Saving
use some
them.
more.
Yeah, they just keep coming. Lord Jesus, we just want to thank you for this time. We want to thank you that we get to come back and meet together, Father, as a body of believers, just to lift your name on high. We're so excited and so thankful for that opportunity to do that, Father. And we just really ask that for people who've got more questions, Father, they'll just feel just released just to ask them openly, and we will just give you the most honest answer that we can.
Beautiful.
So please, just courage to continue to ask those, Father. Just for little Rory, we just really ask that your hand is upon him.
Healing, Lord.
We just declare healing in your name,
Amen.
Jesus. Your word says that by your stripes we are healed. And so we claim that over him right now, Father. Father, for Claudia and Gunnar, and for Jody, and for Christy, and for Todd and Adrian, and all the beautiful kids, we just really ask that your blessing and your peace is just with them,
Yes,
Father. Just be with them, just comfort them right now. Just be in the midst of their gatherings, and as they're organising, Father, memorials and what to from here, Father. I just really ask that you just be in the centre of every conversation, and that you just hedge them around right now, Lord Jesus. We thank you for Alma, and we thank you for a life really well lived, Father.
Beautiful.
We thank you for the time they've got to really share with her,
Yes, Lord.
and just love and share memories, and how precious that is for them, Father. It's for that treasure. Thank you, Jesus, for being so gracious with them all in this time. And Father, we just want to thank you for Chris and for Rebecca.
Word,
and for their
Lord.
beautiful children, Lord Jesus. What a precious family they are.
Yeah.
Incredibly generous, Lord.
Yeah.
Father, with their time, with their words, with their spiritual gifts, and Father, with just their blessings. And we just ask that you hedge them around, Father. We just ask you continue just to grow that family just together as an incredibly unified unit, Father, who's just seeking to serve you in all that they do, Lord. So thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for putting up with me tonight. You're an incredibly patient and gracious individual. You really are. Guys, thank you for sticking around. Share the love, share the good news, share this post out with friends who maybe you didn't see online, because we really want to make sure we keep getting the info out there. We're back tomorrow night with, I think it might be communion.
Cool.
Must be communion tomorrow night, so don't forget that, 7 o'clock. 10 o'clock this Sunday, 6:30 for our podcast, and we will continue to refresh all the information and all that you need to know as soon as we can. Until then,
Go and love somebody. Bye-bye.
go love somebody. God bless you. Bye.